My name is David Gwilt. Welcome to another edition of Thoughts for the Ages. If you'd like to contact me about this vlog or a topic that you'd like to hear something about, get my thoughts on, you can reach me at david@davidagwilt.com. That's spelled Gwilt. Today I want to talk to you about forgiveness. And specifically, I want to speak to you about forgiving oneself. And I'm going to speak to you through personal experience. Rather than tell you what you should do, I'll tell you what I've done. At some point, several years ago, I realized that I probably had not been the nicest person to a lot of folks in my life, including siblings, parents, co-workers, friends, women in relationships that I'd been in and out of. And wanting to become a better person, I found myself beating myself up, if you will, for the things that I had done. And I will tell you that I prayed about it. I spoke to folks that were kind of spiritual advisors. And one of the lessons that I took from those conversations and introspection was that I needed to forgive myself first. And that's based on, for me, I have a belief in a higher power, if you will, a God of, let's say, of my understanding. And what I was told and came to accept, and it really made sense to me, was that if I had a belief in a God that loved me and cared for me, or I should say, present tense, loves me and cares for me, and forgives me for my actions, if I ask for forgiveness, then who am I to not forgive myself? Am I better than that God of my understanding? Well, certainly I'm not. And so I started that process of self-forgiveness. And it took a while. It wasn't something that I just sat down one day and said, okay, I forgive myself today. Everything's good. It did take a while. And out of that came a desire to ask for forgiveness of folks that I had harmed, whether by thoughts or words or actions, mostly words, I think, and sometimes actions. So I started making what I like to call amends. What a lot of people call that amends in certain programs. And it wasn't important whether the people forgave me or not. If they forgave me, wonderful. And if they didn't, that was okay too. The important thing was that I cleared my conscience by apologizing, by making that amend. So I started by forgiving myself, and then I asked for forgiveness of others. And when I got done that process, a big weight was lifted off of my shoulders and out of my heart, that I could now totally forgive myself for any quote unquote harm that I had done to others. And that brought a lot of joy and peace and serenity into my life. And then obviously, I made the commitment to not do harm in the future, to try my best to treat everyone with the same respect and consideration that I wanted to be treated, rather than living my life in a totally self-centered way where everything was it was my world and you were just in it and you had a role to play in my existence. So I have learned. And one of the things that I would suggest, and I always practice, is trying to learn and to become a better person. I'm 74 years old now, and I have no idea how much longer I have. I live like I'm going to be here for a long time because I plan things. And if that works, great. If it doesn't work, I don't have control over that. What I do have control over, as I've told you before, is my attitude. So I try to wake up with a smile on my face, go through with that, spread some joy and laughter in others. And it all started, frankly, when I learned how to forgive myself. So if you've got anything out of that, if you've got a question or a comment about it, again, you can reach me, david@davidagwilt.com. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.